Hi everyone, thank you for joining us for our February episode of Welcome Home. I'm Rachel Schramm with Simply Home Real Estate, bringing you beautiful spaces and real estate tips right here every month. We've got a great show lined up for you today. We're getting ready for spring, both at home and with your personal style, plus a closer look at building a custom home. Welcome Home starts right now.
From the NewsChannel 5 network, this is Welcome Home with Rachel Schramm.
Real estate market right now, limited inventory is a concern for many prospective buyers. One solution that many folks are turning to is considering a new build. I recently caught up with Jackie Hogencamp, who specializes in new construction, to talk about the benefits and the process of a custom build.
2 and 3.
Hey guys, well we are here in New Construction Central
so
today.
Crazy.
You can hear it all around us. I'm with Jackie Hogencamp. You're with Parks. And for the vast majority of your career, you've done new construction. You represent several builders.
Yep, I've done pretty much new construction for 13 years, and I've done every kind of new construction, from custom to pre-sale to semi-custom to just flat-out tract building, where you just pick a few things. So I feel like I have kind of ran the gamut.
You really have, and that's why I'm so anxious to talk to you, because I get so many questions about new construction. Thing number one, I want to ask you right off, in this market with what we're dealing with going into the spring market, why is choosing to build versus purchase an existing home, why is it a good idea right now?
Number one, lack of inventory. We have lots and we can build houses, but we can't create new old houses. So that's absolutely the best. Also, because the market's so good, a lot more builders are willing to start a house when someone has another house to sell, a sale of home contingency. You would never have been accepted for a while, but now you've got a little more freedom. So it really is a better option than people realize.
The number one question that I think I get from folks, it's not about cost, it's not about timeline, it's the process seems so intimidating.
Super stressful.
That's their hang up. You know, it's going to be a full-time job just to build a house, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I get that. And you can kind of curate your experience to where you're at. I mean, the two biggest things that are going to influence your build experience is going to be your budget and your location, because obviously if you're at the bottom price point in a certain location, what your ability to do there is going to be a little more, compressed. But if you have a little more flexibility and you really want more of a customized product and you're okay with going out in different areas, you just have a lot more options. So you can literally go from a really simple, curate 3 packages. Like, hey, Jackie, I don't want to deal with this right now. I just want you to give me 3 packages and I'm going to pick something. Very minimally invasive. Or you can tell me which toilet you want. It's really up to you.
Jackie, you mentioned the word custom, and I love what you said about you can really curate the experience for your buyers.
Yeah.
Tell me the difference between a custom and, say, a pre-sale.
Okay, so if you're in a neighborhood, it doesn't matter if it's a builder that builds 1,500 or 20. If you're in a neighborhood, it's typically going to be considered a pre-sale because you have certain plans to pick from. They can go kind of semi-custom depending on the location, and then you can go full custom, which is where you get to pick literally everything, which is typically if you have a plot of land or you buy a lot somewhere, things of that nature, which is a full custom, which brings up also the different ways to finance a construction build. You can do turnkey, which is where the builder pulls everything, does everything, and you just close it at the end, just like buying a normal house. You just come in and close once. Or you can actually do what's called cost plus, which is where you pull your own construction loan and the builder sends you bills and you paid the builder as the process goes. So you see how much more customized that process would probably be than if you just came and picked up a house in a neighborhood.
Right, and I love that you can kind of customize because I'm thinking, okay, that sounds good. I want to have options and choices, but I also might need a little hand holding too. And so you can do both, right?
You really can, and it's really going to depend on the agent, the builder, and again the location. Because if you get a big tract builder and they're phenomenal, it's just going to be more of a process of, hey, I want you to go here on this day. You've got 3 packages, pick something. Here's your 3 plumbing packages. Here's your 3 lighting packages. Here's your 5 tiles. Or you can have a full-on custom experience where the agent or designer, which I design for several of my builders, and I'm always their agent. So if you're buyer's agent, you're the listing agent, whatever, you all go together and pick those things. You literally can curate it depending on what type of build you're doing. But again, it's going to be impacted by your budget and your location.
Well, and that brings up a great point. So somebody may be thinking, okay, this sounds like maybe a great option for me. How do I choose a builder? There's so many builders out there. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, there are so many builders, y'all. It's here's what I say. You kind of know, like when you start scheduling appointments and meetings and talking to different builders, you get a vibe for them, you get their energy, and you can kind of tell who you're going to work well with. You know what I mean? So that's what I always say. We're all going to be fairly comparable if you're in the same areas with the same similar builds. Pretty comparable on the price to build, so it's really about who can build you the house that you want, curated to the experience you want, like again, customized versus pre-sale, and then how you feel about that builder. I think that's really the best way to go about it.
All right, Jackie, real talk, because that's one thing that I love about you. You're always going to shoot us straight. Let's talk expectations versus reality.
Yeah, that's a hard one because, you know, again, HGTV, we all love it. We love our Pinterest, we do our things, and we get these ideas of what we want, and we can all have that, but they can get very expensive. So what I like to do is try to help people, like, let me see your vision, and let's see if we can come up with a way to accomplish it that's not, you know, a $10,000 window. Maybe we can find that window for $1,000. It's not going to be a Marvin, but it can be, you know, just as nice. And so I think you have to come up with your list of things you will not bend on, the things you must have. Do you want that 48-inch gas range? Do you want those super, you know, clad, beautiful windows? Then pay for those up front. Don't worry about the little things like the light fixtures and the plumbing fixtures, because you can deal with that later very, very simply, but you can't rip out a window. You can't change your cabinets. So I like to try to help people, and it's really not that hard to do if you get, you know, the right builder to be able to hone that in and say, yes, I'm going to give you the look, but at a fraction of the cost. It's not going to be perfect, but it's not going to change the things that matter. Does that make sense?
Great advice. Okay, great perspective. We're out of time, but thank you so much for sharing your expertise, Jackie Hogencamp, and we'll have to have you back on because we could do so much more of this. All right, thank you for being here. Well, if you think a new build might be for you, reach out at rachelschramm.com for more info. And when we come back, tips on getting a fresh new look for spring.